nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
Hey, what's going on? Sub-Zero3639. This video is basically me answering a few of the questions that were put in the comment section of my video about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund with Jay Morrison. I've gotten a lot of negativity from a lot of people. I guess a lot of tone talk. And I did put tone talks in the tags of that video. So I guess a lot of people are coming up now. A lot of his people are coming on my channel. Let me say this. Black people, first of all, Jay Morrison has lined himself up with Don Peoples, billionaire real estate investor, real estate mogul, magnate, whatever you want to call it. That is what I was talking about. He's aligning himself with the proper people. You may not like the terms of it, but give it a chance. If he steals the money, then he steals the money. That doesn't necessarily mean that what I said about principles, as far as the principles of why we should get behind a black guy raising $10 million to go out here and start making a change in the black community. There are a lot of people that have a wait and see approach. One brother said that. Shout out to him. I respect that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not telling you to be 100% on board from day one. I'm just saying I'm gonna wait and see. This could be risky. You know, I don't like the terms, but you know, a couple people say they don't like the terms. I don't have a problem with you not liking the terms. Don't just say scam though. Don't just say this. He's made an ass out of you. He's a crook. All that shit. I don't want to hear that. So y'all have a good day. In fact, let me read one guy's comments because I don't think I put his in here, and I want you guys to see the type of things that people are saying, so I can address them and get to the point. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the problem I have with it. A lot of people are complaining, but they're not really looking at it from an objective perspective. Let me go to trying to navigate through my folder while I'm on the phone. So let's see. And y'all gotta excuse me, man. I got that Mickey Mouse playing in the background for my boy, man. But let's see. All right, so I sent that image. Let's see. And this is the thing, man. Like a lot of people, a lot of the things that they're complaining about this, they're not really well thought out, like complaints or things that they don't understand. They just tend to be negative. You get what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I think sometimes you have to let stuff mature before you say yay or nay. You know, and a lot of us aren't taking that approach. A lot of us are just like, you know what, this is a scam, this is this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just feel like that's something that needs to be discussed. I can't find this damn thing. I hate my damn email, man. As soon as you email something to yourself, you think it's gonna be there, then all of a sudden you come look for it and you can't find it. But anyway, obviously I can't find it. Let me go ahead and go. Can't find it. But basically the guy, what he was saying was just that this is a scam, and one of the things he talked about was, well, this is going to gentrify a lot of black people. They're not going to be able to afford to live in those neighborhoods. I'm sitting like, first of all, he didn't say that he's specifically going to have black tenants. So, I mean, when you looking and getting that creative to try to pull something down, and that's the gist of what the guy's comment was, he's not going to, you know, black people are going to be gentrified out of their own neighborhoods by black people. They're not going to be able to afford. Like, who said that? First of all, he said he's gonna own parking decks, shopping malls, all types of stuff. That's a lack. First of all, it's a lack of understanding. It's a lack of creativity. It's just a whole lot of things. Or I shouldn't say lack, but it's a lot of creativity as to why shit don't work. And this is why you see our community looking like it does in shambles, because you got a lot. You have an overabundance of black men or black people, period, who feel as though they can come up with all these creative reasons as to why something won't work, but they don't participate, they don't invest, and they just a bunch of talk. So let me get on with this video. I'm finna go to work. Y'all have a good day.
What's up? Sub-Zero 3639. Coming out here to talk to y'all for a second. Wanted to step out here in the car. I did a video in defense of Jay Morrison's Tulsa real estate fund, right? And the reason I did that video was because I see a lot of people coming with peripheral information and arguments, not really being able to really speak to any real substantive disagreements or arguments with this investment. I have no problem if you have a problem with the investment based on factual information, real sound investment principles, right? I have no problem with it. The reason that I made that video with what's his face, with Tone Talks, was because Tone Talks was coming from a place of just wanting to be argumentative and saying certain things and making things up. Really, he really wasn't coming from a place of, you know, trying to really be productive. It was because his whole premise is that he believes that the main structural answer for the black community is transformative government. That's what he believes, and I think that's a flimsy, weak argument, right? And I don't think that anybody with any sense should listen to that guy, because I think he's full of it. That's just me. Now that was the whole premise of my video, right? But see, the problem, this is why I have a problem with, I made that video about this generation, and I'm not shitting on everybody in this generation. We got some cool people that are millennials, but a lot of millennials, oh, damn, my bad. Anyway, sitting in the car. So, but the thing is, man, a lot of people come with some bullshit and just these peripheral arguments. They have nothing to do with what I was saying and making up shit that I never once said. So let me address one or two people. So one guy came in and said black people need to become financially literate, which I agree with, and educated on the basics of investments, before coming to a conclusion to invest in stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, etc. Agreed. Then we can analyze investment opportunities presented to us from any race or organization. Agreed. The first thing we need to do is get out of debt before investing in a penny stock, literally. Okay. If you are in debt, the first goal is to pay it off before doing anything else with your money, and build an emergency fund of 6 months of expenses. Sure, you can educate yourself during that process. Plenty of videos, I guess he's saying there are plenty of videos for free on YouTube. But for now, get out of your feelings about this one presentation of an investment idea you know nothing about, and get your financial house in order. Now, he telling me to get my shit together. He don't know shit about me, don't know what I'm doing, don't know what my debt is. As far as I'm concerned, kiss my ass, right? That's one thing. Secondly, this brother made 4 or 5 different comments, and I deleted all that shit because he was coming at me, trying to insult me. And I guess, and see, this is what I say. I know people say, well, man, you must be insecure about your southern accent or your southern roots. No, I'm not. I'm not really insecure. I'm proud to be from the South. I love the South. Right? But one of the problems I have is that when people come in to the comment section on some of these videos, and you know, they hear these videos and shit, and I guess they assume this brother's stupid and ignorant, and he's not educated about investment. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Number one. Number two, if you're so concerned about the plight of black people, and yet you're so educated, why the fuck ain't you out here trying to help your people? But you can come in the comment section and write a dissertation as to why I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you so much better than me, motherfucker, get your ass out here and do it yourself. And quit coming in my comment section trying to point out I don't know shit. Damn, I can't stand motherfuckers like that. You so smart, but you don't do shit. You gotta practice. Look, most of these people that's talking shit about Jay Morrison, they ain't doing the shit Jay Morrison doing. Do what he did first. Do what I'm doing. Shit, you ain't gotta do what Jay Morrison doing. At least do what I do. Check people's resume before you talk shit, man. At least try to help your people. I go on these people's pages and shit. They ain't got no subscribers, nothing. But they steady in the comment section bitching. When somebody try to come with some sort of solution and you say, well, this shit is a scam. Let me keep reading, because this is another one. He came in. This is what else he's same guy. He said, I wish somebody would come on YouTube and address this crowdfunding IPO. It's way too many, he put about 50 O's, too many people who have no real financial background. Now, who the fuck, I know you ain't talking about me. So that's the shit I'm talking about. You coming on this bitch don't know nothing about no motherfucking body. You don't know shit. Who the fuck are you? What's your resume? Substantiate yourself, cause you done watched a couple Investopia videos and shit. Now you a damn genius. Let me keep going. We have no financial background to address the pros and cons. We not listening to lawyers and economists, probably because it's not worth their time, because this vehicle profitability is highly questionable. 401ks were decimated in 2008, but if you left it there, you would have made it back at least 2 times over. Now let me explain something first of all. 401k, what I said was you can lose your money in any investment. And I said, for example, in 2008 during the housing bubble, people lost their retirement, which is a fact. Okay? I didn't say that this shit didn't recover. Real estate has recovered. Shit, if you jumped into Bitcoin and let's say if you jumped, I'm gonna give you a good example. Shit, I jumped into Bitcoin back in, what year was that? 2013. I jumped into Bitcoin. I got in there, it was up at like $500-600. And I had like 2 or 3 Bitcoins and sold them. Now, if I had stayed in there, I would have right now, it's about $7,000 right now. Teetering around there somewhere, $6,000-7,000. And it went up to $20,000. Had I stayed in, I would have been, motherfuckers kidding me. Look, I'm not saying that. And another thing, right now, this is what you got to understand about the stock market. I'm not saying that the stock market is a bad investment. I'm not saying that. But let's not act like right now that we're not buying stocks and bonds, and everything that's based on stocks and bonds right now is not at all-time highs in history. And I don't give a damn. You could go back to the damn beginning of time, ever since we've kept prices and understood how to measure prices. There will be a market correction. I think this market is highly overpriced. So just because right now you say, well, it would have been you'd have got 2 times. So right now you take your ass in there right now, go drop $1 million in there right now. That shit might correct as soon as you drop that million in there in the next 4-5 years. Your ass, you done lost all your damn money. Now over the next 30 or 100 years, will you ever recover? Probably will. I didn't say that. Why the fuck do I got to tell everybody every goddamn thing? I knew that. Who don't know that the market, all you gotta do is just look and see what a Dow is. You ain't even gotta understand. If you saw that the Dow was at 14,000, it crashed down to 7, now it done bounced up over 20 something. Common sense will tell you that it done recovered. That's not what I'm saying. Damn. Let me keep going, man. This is a problem with the internet, boy, I tell you. Here you go again, same guy. Black folks need to educate themselves by at least starting with Investopia videos on YouTube, because all this emotional brokenness revolving around this investment is a sign of lack of financial literacy. It's scarier than a horror movie that people didn't learn their lesson from the housing crash, because spending habits have not changed and the same financial instruments that destroyed the economy are still being sold. This crowdfunding IPO is propped up on distressed properties that have not been acquired. REITs may be a better investment because at least those properties are in existence and money is being collected from those functional businesses, and their dividends can contribute to some lucrative compounding interest with less risk compared to this investment. Now, first of all, he said financial literacy, a lack of financial literacy. That's the thing. Like, people here, like I said, he has no frame of reference to know shit about me. He came in the comment section, heard the country accent, heard me defending the idea that what he was saying, because what Tone Talks was doing was saying, well, black people don't have wealth to give away wealth. Like, that was a financially illiterate statement that he made. I came and pointed that shit out. I came and pointed out that saying that black people's net worth means that they don't have any money to invest, period, is a lack of understanding of investing in general. I said, no, black people can invest. He's not saying that you need to liquidate your damn little few assets that we do have. I made that point in that video. And I said, he keeps talking about this. These are two separate things. One is one, the other is the other. And I kept saying that shit, right? But he kept coming back. This is the shit I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Come and check people's resume for you coming they comment section talking shit. Fuck are you? Real talk. Like, look, if you got a motherfucking problem, reach subzero3639@gmail.com. I call your ass on the phone. You want to meet up face to face? We can talk face to face. I don't give a fuck. Real talk. You got this shit twisted. Coming in somebody comment section. I know people like, well, man, why you getting upset? Why? I'm not getting upset, but the arrogance of some of these motherfuckers is just ridiculous. Who the fuck are you? Who are you, nigga? What have you done? What have you done? If you so smart, why don't you give a fuck about your people? It says something about you that you so financially literate than the rest of us, but you ain't out here trying to help us. So fuck you. Real talk. If you ain't gonna get up off your ass and help, shut the fuck up. I can't stand niggas that want to sit there and point the finger at everything that's wrong and what you don't know what you talking about, and you illiterate with your country ass this, and you don't know this and you don't know that, and you sitting on your ass ain't doing shit. You ain't lifted a motherfucking finger. I don't see where you have. Show me. Why don't you talk about that? Show me where you doing something for your people. Show me where you out here trying to help. This brother came with something that hasn't been done. He's coming. Let me explain something, people. The reason that I'm behind this investment is because of the end goal of what he's trying to accomplish. That's number one. Number two, I've spent hours listening to Jay Morrison. He has attorneys. You can go. He has a Tulsa Real Estate Fund YouTube channel. They do questions. They answer questions from people that are in the financial industry. People are calling, answering questions. He got the lawyers sitting there. He has accountants sitting there answering real questions. Tax attorneys, they're answering questions. Okay. Second of all, this investment vehicle is only 6 years old, people. So I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to find anything in this investment that you're not going to be able to find something with this investment that you know what I'm saying, like historically to measure it to. People are using the word IPO, but quite frankly, it's not being publicly traded. So it's not even really an IPO like what we in the traditional sense. So there's a whole separate set of rules that we need to adhere to when we're talking about this. Don't just come in the comment section and just say some shit without really knowing what the fuck you're talking about. Because it looks bad. Let me keep going. Here go another dude. This is somebody else says, my dude, you too gassed up on this ill-conceived investment fund. Any man that tries to mix emotional elements of history with emotional real money investments with a possible ROI, I don't know what the fuck that means. I guess, most black people are not cognitive to real investments, and let alone real estate. $40 ROI on $500 for 12 months. If all things come together, then 50% splits on anything going forward. If you educated people into investing, then people's expectations would be realistic. But Jay knows these numbers to this fund is straight up ratchet and will be a fraud. Bet your $500 on that. Stop with all the emotions. Bad look, B. Jay knows this is a come up. Unfortunately, you don't. Now, the point he's making about it being a bad investment, this is the thing. Most people they're saying it's a bad investment, they just don't like the terms. That's it. I haven't heard. This is what I want to hear. What type of investments are you going to get? What are you going to do? See, Jay lives in Atlanta. Jay Morrison lives in Atlanta. Let me tell you something. And I know not everybody live in Atlanta, but damn near everybody got family in Atlanta, right? So the one thing about Atlanta, and this is, I can look this up if you don't believe me. Atlanta is like, I think, what is it? Damn near 40% of the black people in Atlanta are self-employed. It's a ridiculously high number, right? Black people in Atlanta are hustlers. That's just the bottom line. A lot of black people in the South are hustlers. I'm from Montgomery. Montgomery's on the list as one of the best cities in the country for black businesses. People from the places that you people have been taught to think we're backwards and slow, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, those 3 states right there are probably some of the best states for black people to run businesses, right? There are more self-employed black people in those 3 states than probably per capita than a lot of other states. I'm gonna tell you that now. That's number 1. Number 2, it's nothing for a black man in Atlanta to take $100,000 and go put down on some money, borrow, and build a $500,000. It's nothing. I know personally 3 or 4 black millionaires that make a killing in this game, that make hella money. I'm gonna probably get an interview with a couple of these brothers, man. I'm tired of people trying to shoot shit down and say, well, look, you don't like the terms? Fine. You don't like the term? Hey, I don't like the terms. I'm gonna stay out. That's it. But you telling me, dude, you too gassed up on this ill-conceived investment fund. He's trying to put emotions with it. This is the thing, man. If I was Jay Morrison, I would have did the exact same thing. I would have came in. If I'm trying to get a fund to try to get black people to help themselves and right some of the wrongs that we have historically been victims of in this country, then those are the words, those are the things I would talk about Tulsa. Yes, I would. Yeah, and would I try to get people to market? Yes. Now, what I'm not saying, this is what I'm not saying, and this is the part they're not going to hear. That, look, it doesn't mean he hasn't made any investments yet, right? He's doing his due diligence. He could make a bad investment, and yes, you can lose money. And if you lose money, that doesn't mean y'all motherfuckers was right. See, I told you. No, if he, I'm gonna tell you where it's a scam. If he skipped town with the money, that's when you right. It's a come up. That's a come up. A come up is when somebody takes the money and don't do what they say they're gonna do. But if he takes this money and he goes out and tries to get people to own shopping centers, office parks, anything, man, a whole bunch of shit that black people usually don't have no dealings in. But you got this investment fund where black people own apartment complexes and amusement parks and shit. I mean, all types of shit you can own, right? And black people start having a piece of that. You telling me that that's not powerful? Come on, man. All right, now here's that other guy, the first guy again. He says, I have no problem with any black person trying to better their financial situation in life. But black people need to understand that whites in America don't practice actual capitalism, but they want blacks to run around thinking they can do and get away with doing what they do, what they see whites doing. Few, if any, blacks will get to see behind the curtain. Hell, even many whites don't get to see behind the curtain. See, this is a dude who has a scarcity mindset. And so I'm never going to be able to let him understand. You a fuck nigga to me from the jump. You a bitch. Just off the top when you say shit like that. I can't. So you saying this is what he's saying to me. It sounds like, look, man, you're never going to be able to beat the bully. Ever. The bully's going to slap you. He's going to take your lunch money, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you don't understand that. See, I've acclimated. That's like the fuck nigga that go to jail, right? And the motherfucker keep trying to punk him and take his ass, and this nigga just bent over and grabbed the ankle. And I'm like, fuck that shit, bitch. You got to knock me out before I fucking give up. You ain't taking my ass. That's him. This is a nigga, you get him in jail, he'll be the main one on them knees. Real talk. I mean that shit. Now let me keep going. All right, where did it go? Hell, see behind the curtain. Because I guess he had a run-on sentence. Because the wealthy white power structure knows it can use class to make other poor whites do their bidding. Trump doesn't give a damn about poor whites, but they think that he that he does, and that makes all the difference. See, this shit done turned into Trump. We trying to help ourselves. He done lasso Trump into this shit. That's a bitch move. Real talk. Few blacks are ever going to invest their way to riches. Thousands of economists. Let me say this, man. You know why few blacks are ever going to invest their way to riches? And Boyce Watkins talked about this shit. I think it was some $5, $10 or some ridiculously low number, right? And Boyce Watkins said, man, if you take that amount and drop it here over the next 20, 30 years, you'll have $1 million. Some number he did, right? I don't know what go look at the video. He did a couple of videos like that. It's not really hard to get rich, it's just boring. And we don't have the discipline. But I can't get mad at you if there is an opportunity. I just don't take advantage of it. You see, when you work in a job, even though I talked about 401ks, right? When you work in a job, if you choose not to drop money in your 401k and you work at that company 30 years, and you retire and your ass ain't got nothing but Social Security, you can't get mad at the company. You can't. You can't get mad because you chose not to take that opportunity. You choose not to say, you know what, I'm going to buy me one rental property every year. I'm going to buy one rental property, fix it, and rent it out. I know black people that have done this shit. See, that's why I don't have a scarcity. I grew up with my dad. My dad threw punches, God rest his soul, to his last breath. My dad bought houses, fixed them, and sold them. Bought houses, fixed them, and sold them. I saw that from elementary all the way through high school, college. I saw my dad do that. See, so to me, I don't have a scarcity mindset. He does. That's why when I made that video, when Kanye made his point about that sounds like a choice, this is what he's talking about. This nigga made a choice. He's made a choice to be subservient to whites, subservient to the haves. You know, the poor whites, I guess they on the same level as him, but, you know, or maybe a tad bit higher in his mind. But he has a scarcity mindset. I don't. Watch me. Watch me. I done it. Done made money. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't believe that. I remember years ago, man, I was trying to get into IT and I got a homeboy of mine from high school. Me and him was talking. He was telling me, man, ain't nobody gonna give you no job in IT. You have no experience. Yeah, you got a degree in business and information systems, but you have no internships, nothing. You don't know what you're talking about. You think you're gonna walk in there and these people will give you their $1 billion database with all their money and you got access to all their data and you have no experience? That shit ain't gonna ever happen. Damn, I need to go back upstairs in a few minutes because I got to go back up there and get back on that $1 billion database. See what I'm saying? I was in high school. My high school coach told me, son, you never play college basketball. You're not good enough. You don't have the talent, right? I said, fuck that. I don't believe it. You can kiss my ass. I'm going to make it. And it wasn't that I just said it. It sat on my ass. See, that's the difference. I didn't just say it. I put the work in. I bust my ass, and guess what? It was hard. Well, it really wasn't. But when I say it was hard, I worked hard, and it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't. I had to work. I had to do things. I had to lift weights. I had to run. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But I had to do all that to get good enough to make a college basketball team. How did I get it? I'm in college. I'm over there at Alabama State University before they fixed up their cafeteria. It was called C.J. Dunn. That's their basketball gym. I'm in there playing, and it was this guy that had signed with West Virginia. I didn't know I knew him, but I didn't know he had signed with West Virginia. He was a hell of a ball player named Carl. He played behind Brian Williams. Brian Williams was a top 5 basketball player in Alabama. I went up against Carl last, and me and Carl was going at it. But the coach was sitting on the side. I didn't know. The coach saw me and was like, who the hell is that? That's literally how I got picked up to play basketball in college. Playing pickup, and some guy saw me. It was like, this guy is holding his own against a guy who just signed D1. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm not one of these dudes that believes in being subservient. I'm not one of these dudes that believes that you can't. I'm a can-do guy. I'm a can-do. Damn it, when I come in the room, damn it, I'm coming with answers. I'm coming with solutions. I bring hope. That's what you hear. That passion you hear is not me being emotional like I want this shit to work. Because you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Jay Morrison could fuck up. He could skip town with the money. That'd be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. He could skip town with the money. He could do some dumb shit. He could, or he could actually try to do right, and just the investments that he choose don't do as well as he thought they would, and it don't turn around and make as much money as it did. But he tried it. This is some shit black people gotta understand. When we now, and that's valuable to me if that happens. Because if he does what he says he's gonna do and it doesn't work, that's a damn good lesson that we can all learn. I would love to sit down with Jay and say, okay, Jay, what happened? Why did, you see, if he's smart, he'll diversify that shit and spread it out so that it won't be just all hinged on one damn investment. You make 3 or 4, you make tons, you might make 30 different investments. I'll make smaller investments. 40 units or less apartment complexes. Shit like that's what I would buy. Shit that you know gonna work. 90% occupancy rate or higher. I know where to buy those at. I'm sure he knows because I've been in real estate. It's nothing to see. I know black people in Atlanta that's millionaires that do shit like that. That's what they do. They commercial real estate developers. And you think this brother don't know people like that? He got a team of brothers around him with the credentials and the records to do it. Now, is he gonna win? I can't guarantee. I can't see the future. I can't see round corners. I'm not a clairvoyant. But the level of just coming on here and telling me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about and I'm this and I'm that when you ain't done shit and I click on your page and don't see nothing but a damn person with no subscribers talking shit. Come on, man. Miko, he said nope. He said okay. Thousands of economists, mathematicians, engineers, and stock analysts and traders have come up with 1,001 formulas in quotes to beat the stock market. Nope, I don't know what he means by it. I guess he's saying, I don't know what he's talking about with that. That's not even the complete thought. And real estate investment swindles, much like cryptocurrency, which fools were flying on here this time last year, swearing it was going to make millions for early investors. Any BitConnect or Mt. Gox investors on this thread have existed ever since con men have sold ownership of shares in the Golden Gate Bridge. There's a sucker born every minute. Now, let me go back. First of all, he said he's talking about cryptocurrency. I'm sorry. There are people that made money in BitConnect. The early investors of BitConnect made a killing. They did. There are people making $10,000 a day. I saw it. I saw that firsthand. I know people got up to $600,000-700,000. I've seen it. In a year, people did do that. This shit wound up going under. It did. I'll admit I lost money in that shit. I lost money in the other one. I damn sure did. You see my attitude change though? Huh? Motherfuckers, it's crooks out there. It's crooks. You will lose money. Let me tell you something, man. If you ever, it's like this, man. It's like saying, hey, man, I'm not going to get in my car and go anywhere because I want all green lights. If I don't see green lights and if I'm not able to cruise down the street without having to change lanes or without having to stop at a red light or without having to come to a stop sign, then I don't want to drive. Well, if that's the case, then your ass don't ever need to do an investment. You know how much money I done lost? I lost money in trucking. I lost all kind of money, man. That goes with the territory. That doesn't mean stop investing. That doesn't mean that this brother right here, my understanding of BitConnect and all that shit that took place has nothing to do with what's going on with this situation right here with Jay Morrison. Those are two separate situations. I'm not going to let that affect that. Now, am I going to draw some wisdom from the fact that I just probably shouldn't send thousands of dollars through the internet or through of course, wisdom through that. Or if I'm going to do it, it needs to be discretionary money. Like, for example, I did a comedy club, right? At the time, that was my last bit of real estate money. I had flipped houses. 2006, for those of y'all that don't know, I made $600,000 in real estate. Right? I grossed that. Right? 35% of that was profit. I made about a little over, right at $250,000, right? In my pocket in 2006. That money, I went and was doing other investment stuff like that. Of course, the housing bubble happened. A lot of properties I had got foreclosed on. None of it went on my credit, thank God. I took my last bit of real estate money and dropped it into a comedy club. Well, that didn't work. Went out of business, right? But I learned, and now I'm smarter, and I understand, okay, I should have did this. Because certain things I did worked, certain things I did didn't work. In fact, the market was like, for example, I was spending almost $1,000 a week at the radio station. Back then in 2008, 2009, Facebook wasn't what it is today. So now I can spend a fraction of that. I could probably spend $100 a week and blow that damn place out. That will be probably the difference in winning or losing. I would actually be profitable just on changing that one aspect alone. That would make me profitable. I was losing about $2,000 a month, and you can't hemorrhage money forever. So eventually I shut down after 6 months. But had I just said, you know what, let me go ahead and, take this and go hard with it and go and, the marketing. Now I had some working capital, but that shit was getting ate up. You see what I'm saying? It was. And so I lost money. I know, and you know what? Let me tell you something. I know it's a lot of people probably come and say, see that show you don't understand business. Nigga, fuck you. How many black-owned company clubs there are in the country at the time? In 2008, there were only 3. We were the third one. Right? That's number one. Number two, in business, I got the attitude. See, I came in this game with the understanding I'm gonna lose money sometimes. It happens, and I'm gonna win. Sometimes I lost money in real estate by circumstances that didn't really have nothing to do with me. That's the damn housing bubble. That's number one. Number two, understanding how to get into this investment of the comedy club. I actually see now how it could have been profitable. So now if I do it, I have a great insight into that business that I would not have had I just went out there and tried it today. It's experience. Now, if I were to do that again, I wouldn't do that with real estate money or profit money. I would not. If I got a job and I had a lump sum, of cash, and I dropped it in there that way, and then I was able to go out here and get and start that comedy club, and I can actually pay the bills out my pocket, comfortably every month until it gets up to. Then I could do that, with my. But back then I didn't have this skill set. In 2008, you see what I'm saying? So, but now I do. So I can, I make pretty good money. So if I wanted to right now, somebody say, hey, we give you a place, you got to pay $1,200 a month for this, you got to pay this, you got to pay that. And I'm doing the math, and I'm like, you know what? I will have shortcomings roughly anywhere from this to that. Why? Because I've done it before, and I know I've been in that industry. I know how many people you'll get. I know, in fact, marketing is a lot cheaper now. See, I can actually look at this as a viable investment again. See, white people do it. You got Uptown Company in Atlanta, been here for damn near 30 years. Nobody got nothing to say. White man on, nobody got nothing to say. But when a black man try to do something, we got to deal with all these damn naysayers and shit like that, man. It's just real. Okay. Here's another guy. Says, anyone who puts money in this is just dumb. Okay. This has nothing to do with black empowerment and everything to do with folks preying on other black folks. The fact that Jay and his group will get 50% of the profits as well as 5.5% management fee should be enough to scare off any normal intelligent investors. They are putting up less than 5% of the risk and will get 50% profit. Disingenuous Negroes strike again. Now, this is my thing. If you don't like the structure of the business, don't do it. Okay? But my thing is, look, man, in business, this is legal. You can ask a lawyer this. If you are in your right mind and you go and sign up for something, you're not under duress, and somebody says, hey, we'll give you 50%, you put up the money, I'm going to give you 50% of the profit. Most of the time, that's not a bad investment. A lot of times it could be called a silent investor. Sometimes it's not. I've seen it. Now, this is not like a hedge fund. It's similar, but it's not a hedge fund per se. It's not. This investment vehicle is brand new. He structured it like this. People don't like the terms. You don't like the terms. Don't do it. Just say you don't like. Man, I don't like the terms. Keep it moving. Don't call anybody that invest in it dumb, because let's just say hypothetically he makes sound investments and the shit actually turns some kind of profit. Even if it's just not 8%, let's say he only can give you 5%, 4%. That would be huge. That a black man went out and did this shit and actually performed. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Right now, what he's done is he's put his name on the line. Nobody will ever listen to him again if this fails. So he's really risking his name. Now it's a bit come up in some people's eyes where, well, he still got $10 million. His name, and he could probably walk into the sunset. He could. You see what I'm saying? See, what you hear in my mind is, I'm gonna give him a chance first and see. Let's wait and see before we just throw out the baby with the bathwater. That's me. That's all I'm saying. So, here's another one. You sound like a hater because someone fraud is being exposed. Now, think about that for a second. He frauding y'all or somebody else, and I'm hating. What am I hating on? They ain't getting nothing out the picture. You get what I'm saying? Why am I hating on Tone Talks for calling out a fraud? Who does that? Why would I hate on Tone? Like, what would I get if Tone didn't say anything? What would I get? I'm not one of the partners. You don't see me on the picture up there with a suit on with Jay Morrison. So why would I be hating? No, I see this as an opportunity. I'm not saying that it's an opportunity. Opportunities come and go. It could be a good opportunity. It could be a bad one. It could be something you think it could be fool's gold. It could be. I'll admit that. See, I'm not prideful to where I won't say, yeah, man, he can make dumb investments. His ego could get in the way because he has a huge ego. He does. There's a lot of things that I could say about this investment that could or couldn't happen. But just the percentages, I'm not tripping about that. I'm not. Well, he getting a lot of... Wait. What you think you get with your damn 401k? That's the same deal you get with a 401k. Charles Schwab, all these companies, they give you the same thing. Maybe not 50% of the profit. You get what I'm saying? But hell, nobody... I mean, wait a minute. Not even with that. Even with a mutual fund, when you look at these companies, they don't give you nothing but the percentage. You don't got a chance to get no profit. They give you your percentage yield per year. Well, actually, okay, let's say they give you a locked-in 3%, let's say. Then every year they might drop you an extra 5%. So you might make 8% one year. One year you might make 5%. One year you might make 4%. One year you might make 3%, just the base. Then one year you might make 11, 12. Sometimes I've seen people make up to 20% in the year before. Lately, people have been returning that. So, I mean, it varies, man. So I won't say that, but what I will say is, let's not act like this can't. Let's let the guy get there first. It could be tweaked. It's a lot of things he can do. But let him get out there and get a chance first, man. That's all. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard anything that's overtly saying, that here's another guy. It's a bad investment, period. It is better to wait and see what happens before you attach your name to something that is structured very similar to a Ponzi scheme. Now, he said it's structured very, very similar to a Ponzi scheme. It could be. I'll admit, it could be. I'm real with my shit. It could be. He could. What Jay Morrison could do is he could pay people percentages off of the money that, instead of going out and trying to incur profit by making real world investments that are going to actually turn some sort of yield and dividends, he could go out and say, you know what? I'm just going to go and take the money that they're giving me and pay them out of that, make it look like they're getting something. Meanwhile, I'm spending the money. Eventually, that's going to run out, and then he's going to go to jail. SEC going to come get him. That's what's going to happen. If he do, then that's his dumb ass. If he's dumb enough to do that, he's dumb. So, I don't think, now this is me. He hasn't made one major investment yet. This is me right here saying on record, look, man, I'm not saying that this is a perfect tool. It's perfect, this and that. But what I heard Tone Talk say, those were flimsy arguments, people. Talking about the economic position of blacks as a reason why they shouldn't invest is stupid to me. Now, there's one guy, the guy earlier, he said, well, black people should, before they invest, they should pay off all their debt. I've heard two schools of thought on that. I mean, there's this guy by the name of Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace, book he had called Total Money Makeover. If you listen to the AM stations a lot of and a lot of FM talk stations, they'll have him on there during the day, and he'll be talking about people getting out of debt. You should get out of debt before you invest. I agree. I do agree with that. I think before you do any investment, you should get out of debt. That's number one, right? But there's another school of thought, which I'm not really too much opposed to, that as black people, and I heard somebody say this, getting out of debt a lot of times is actually more difficult. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes maybe, like, for example, if you bought a foreclosure in 2010 when you had good credit, market was great, 2009, 2010 was the perfect time to buy. You got good credit. You got debt, but it's not real, like, your debt to income ratio is very low, right? And you go and buy a quadruplex, a foreclosure, or you bought a house that was a foreclosure. It could be your primary residence, right? You bought this house, you moved in, and you got this house at, let's say, 50 cents on the dollar, right? Houses were depressed at the time, so, prices were down. So now prices are recovering. It's 2008, right? And let's say you bought that house at $100,000. is supposed to be worth 200, right? Today that house is, let's say, 195. You got $25,000 worth of student loan. You refinance your student loan debt. Now you pay off your student loan debt, and you still have equity in your home. It's your primary residence. You don't plan on moving, right? And you pay a bi-monthly payment on that. You send extra payments in like they're supposed to, and you do a debt snowball on your debt. You can do both, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that black people can't invest until they're completely 100% debt free. Now, those are two different schools of thought. Now, I'm not so angry at the first guy that made that point, because I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think you can do that. But who's to say that you aren't? The people that I'm telling to invest. First of all. Second of all, he wants to hold hard line to that. That's cool. That's his personal point of view. Some people don't want to hold hard line to that. You don't have to. I don't think you have to. I don't think there's a 100% guaranteed way that you have to operate. But it does take discipline. That has to be there. If you have no discipline, then none of this works. First of all, you won't be able to pay your debt off. Second of all, if you got a house and you got $100,000 worth of equity in it, it takes discipline to say, I'm not gonna pull out 165. I'm gonna just only pull out that 25,000 above that 100, and I'm just pay off my student loan debt, and that's it. Then I'm gonna do the debt snowball on any credit cards, any cars, anything like that. Every car I get is used. I don't buy new cars. I don't believe in buying brand new car. I don't believe in pulling the paper off a car. That's foolish. Number one. Number two, I don't believe in paying over $20,000 for a car. If it's over $20,000, I don't want it. I don't give a damn if it's used. That's just me. I want something if I need to, I can scramble and pay that car off in a year. See what I'm saying? So I'm comfortable. Like with the type of money I make, I can actually afford a damn $40,000 car if I really just want one. I don't want one. I don't care. I'll buy a damn 7-year-old car and keep it moving. That's just me. Now let me keep with this last comment, then I'm gonna go and finish this off. He said, Jay Morrison is a scam artist. He crowdfunded his wedding, charging mofos to watch this shit online. What the fuck is wrong with you Negroes? The company, let's talk about it. I guess the company, let's talk about it. He has no track record of buying anything over the last year. No profit or loss. This shit is such a run-on. Anyway, he has no track record of buying anything over the last year. No profit or loss over the last year. People should never buy stock off hype. How, I guess he said HIW, I guess it's how much debt the company has. That's a question. I don't know. Okay. Why is the stock worth $50? Dropbox worth $1 billion. He's billing. Dropbox worth man. If you're gonna come talk shit and call people dumb, make sure you at least use your spell check, man. At least use your damn spell check before you come talk shit about somebody stupid. Okay. A real IPO was $30. I guess he's talking about Dropbox did an IPO, and their IPO was $30. How is this stock worth $50? There are capital ventures with premium shares. Is there a board? Okay, let me do this right here. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to his channel. I'm gonna go to his channel and I'm gonna play this right here. I'm gonna go back to 25 minutes because at 25 minutes they address this. I listen to this shit.
Which will allow you, once you put your investment in, whatever day you put your investment in, you will be a shareholder and receive dividends. Focused on money question.
All right, I'm gonna play this. It says live every Thursday Q&A with T-Ref executives, including CEO Jay Morrison. It was done May 17th. This is on the Tulsa Real Estate Fund YouTube channel. Go check it out. He sit there for like almost 2 hours answering questions. So let's go into this question that the brother this statement he just posed about the valuation of $50. Let's get there.
Any money questions you got? Says our president, our Madam President, Janetta Pay. First caller.
All right, great caller.
Yeah, we hear you.
908, you're live.
Gene.
I wanted to know how much is the IPO? What is the stock price starting at?
All right, great question, King. So he asked, what is the IPO stock price or share price? So
Yes, what the share price starting at?
Yep, go ahead, Mace.
So, yep. When you say share price, I think you're thinking of a listed security.
Did you hear that? See that? So everybody that's coming to come against this shit is talking about shit that ain't even the same exact vehicle. This vehicle is only 6 years old, and y'all shooting this shit down. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Keep going.
That changes price. So basically, when you buy our shares, you're purchasing them directly from the company at par value. So it's $50 per share. So the minimum investment is 10 shares. That's $500.
There you go. So he's looking at when Dropbox went to the market and the damn valuation going through the damn stock exchange and all that shit. He's not even in a stock exchange. These are par value from the company. Like I got family members that work with companies, and they gave them like 5,000 stock options at the company. They hadn't even done the IPO yet, but they're saying right now they worth $60. That's what they say. Now they could drop on the market and that shit drop down to $1. Who knows? See what I'm saying? Or it could actually stay up there and be $300,000 for him. Who knows? But that's not what this is a completely different investment vehicle, man. But y'all niggas don't give a shit. Y'all just want to talk this shit just because you can. Come in the internet and call people stupid because that's what you do. That's what we do. But my thing is, and I'm going to sum this video like this, man. If you ain't out here in these streets out here trying to grind, trying to help folks yourself, you can't talk shit. So stop it. Miss me with that. If you're not going to get out here and do what you're supposed to do, I don't want to hear it. Thank you. Hey guys, what's going on? Sub-Zero. Let me add this right here. What you're looking at now is a property in Sandy Springs. It's over off Hammond Drive. They literally just built this property. This property has 203 units, newly built, real high-end property in Sandy Springs. Sandy Springs is one of the most expensive areas in Atlanta. Look, man, this property is the type of property that they're renting us for sale. If I were your boy, this is the type of property I would buy. Now, of course, this would probably tie up everything for the first year. But if let's say he bought this for $40 million, right? 40, 45, maybe let's say 50. The payments on that, he's looking anywhere in the twos. It rakes in fully rented at full capacity to be about 340. So we looking roughly, he'll make a nice little chunk of change off this. You could probably rake in 80, 90, $100,000 a month off this property. You see what I'm saying? This is just one property. Next year you buy another one. This will be here for 20 something years. This is not going anywhere. This is brand new. This is the type of property that he could buy. Now he could buy something maybe smaller, maybe not as big, but you buy with a good price so that when you pay your debt service, which he already talked about doing, when he pays it, this is the type of property that he'll be able to do. Now he's working with Dunn Peebles, the billionaire real estate investor, and mogul, so to speak. These are the types of people he's aligning himself with. This brother's gonna be okay, man. I really believe that. Dunn Peebles, look at who he's surrounding himself with. Y'all need to stop that, man. Y'all need to stop pulling stuff apart. Okay? Just looking for reasons, man. That's what this is about. Looking for reasons to say it's not gonna work. Thank you.
Another Mike Diesel production.
R.I.P. to Robert Davis, he the king of the South. Anything else said, need to shut your fucking mouth. I'm down with Lil Flip, and I'm down with T.I.P. If them niggas come together, know how much paper we can see. Slim Thug and Zero, y'all still live bullshit. Need to sit down, take a chew. It's too much money to be getting. Power wall and that Cooper still ain't talking. Money speak, all that bullshit keep walking. Y'all niggas got the game fucked up. All you record company people need to shut the fuck up. Cause y'all keeping up that bullshit rapping. And white people laughing at us, that's what's happening. They saying stupid ass niggas still ain't figured it out. Long as they stay divided, man, we gon' run the side. Y'all need to get up off the dumb shit. I got a bread truck, get up off that crumb shit.
Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme. I'ma come through and show my what time. Knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme. I'ma come through and show my what time.
I got the bass quaking, trunk shaking like tambourines. In the H where the paint sweet as tangerines. Where they bouncing on foes like trampolines. It's the great state of Texas, so I can't believe all the conflict and plex that we carrying. It's time to get rid of the beef like vegetarians. I'm about stacking bank every day, so I pay attention to the vets, and I ain't talking about a Chevrolet. Kiki the Don, Pimp C a King, Lil J the owner of the squad. Ace time we the team. It ain't no eyeing that you trying that you be fatigued. But if we man up and press, we can lead the league. We some all-stars, the roster is sick, man. I ain't gotta start, P.O.P. will be the sixth man. Rapper like a Southern Empire for the assist, man. 3, 2, 1, switch and
Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme. I'ma come through and show my what time. Knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme. I'ma come through and show my what time. Knocking those times.
You see the slab outside, it look good, don't it? Masterpiece, dripped out with the foes on it. Trunk, airtight speakers and them show lights holding. Hops around, nigga, get your shit tight. Let me tell you the meaning of coming through. When the sea salt cream and the candy's dark blue. Approaching dying time, knocking doors down. 10, 11 slabs in a single file line. Flossing, swerving, the rims is glistening. They gotta see the wood cause the top is missing. I sleep on dreams cause it's paper I'm chasing. My roots come from Texas, this pimpulation. The bar is tasting, the Benz is spacing. I gotta show my clients so these haters can face me. Riding up the boulevard, crushing the sidewalk. Showing my surround while I'm knocking the doors out.
Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme, knocking those times. Showing thoughts of rhyme.